Do you want to create something new, or you have a big career change project, or maybe you want to build your own business or become an independent? Then you have to do something super important that I will reveal to you in this video or in this audio. In this channel, we create possibilities to give you a boost to your career. So open your mind, stay with me until the end, because I will give you what I like to call the unbeatable key to achieve anything you want. So you really want to hear this one. I'm going to tell you a story. At some point in my life, when I used to live in Caracas, I used to use the subway a lot, or the metro, before thinking about having a car or anything. And I used to experience a lot of crazy things in the public transportation, like it happens in any country, by the way. Now, the endless queues in Plaza Venezuela station, or the rush hours in the morning before going to the university. And I remember once I got my foot between the car and the platform after being pushed. Maybe I was saved by some angel back then. And I also remember the rush hours at 6 p.m. after work, when you no longer have energy. And it was impossible to get into one of those cars. Now, at some point, there was an effort to civilize things. And there was a campaign called "Letting Out is Getting In Faster," or something like that in English. Now, I'm not complaining. The metro in Caracas used to work well, at least while I was there. But this campaign actually worked really well, and people actually welcome it and apply it naturally. And indeed, the flow of people, the movement became more fluid. There was less group of people accumulated, and the metro in general started to work even better. And that's all because people started to let people out first. Easy, right? That solution is not rocket science. Becoming the new you begins with applying the Caracas Metro campaign. The first thing to do in order to become the new you is to let things out, or go first. Letting go the things that you used to be or you used to have that are no longer needed. The goal here is to let go of your old professional identity in order to build a new one. And letting go will help you achieve your goal faster. Now, what do you think you have to let go of? Leave me your comments here. I would like to know what that thing is for you. That will help you release that way. Now, many of my clients who are in the process of changing careers, they are afraid of accepting things like, my college degree or my experience is not really what defines me or what I want to do. Now, this type of thinking leads to thinking of many possibilities of jobs within the same area that doesn't make them feel happy, and they are there going rounds and rounds. Now, Albert Einstein used to say the crazy thing is to do things over and over and to expect different results. So what is used for us to realize that we've been doing something that does not make us happy, and that we really don't want to go in that road if we keep looking for the same options over and over again? What's the point? So after so much analysis and trying to find possibilities, are we going to go on for the same option over and over again? Now, in this channel, we create possibilities, and the idea is to identify the objectives that do not correspond to you so that you start moving forward away from that path and start building something that actually does correspond to you. A path that helps you achieve your authentic goals and that ensures that even if there are challenges, you will know how to welcome them and to overcome them, since this is what genuinely you want to do and defines you. Now, the first step in this stage requires knowing how to let go. Do not tie yourself to the past or the job titles or maybe some companies titles or schools where you studied. This is not going to work, and it's not going to help on your fears of moving forward. The more fears you have, the harder it gets to act on them, and it will paralyze you. So let's do an exercise together. Imagine that you start a trip and you have a large backpack there, and you embark on a journey to the Sahara Desert with all the splendor and wonders and the heat and the flavor and the dangers and surprises. However, in your bag, you have clothes for your trip, you have food, you have water, you have everything, and you find that you have a winter coat and a pair of boots, and you realize that you still continue your way but you don't leave the winter clothes because good part of your life you work in cold areas and you feel that this clothes or this equipment is protecting you. And you keep walking and you begin to feel the heat and the thirst, and that backpack feels heavier every minute. And along the way you meet other people who offer you items, suitable clothing and other gadgets that you will need in the desert, but you don't have any space, any room in your backpack because you're attached to that winter equipment. The road becomes more and more difficult, and the more you repeat to yourself that it's better to return because there is no point of going forward, and it's very difficult and heavy. Between the sweat and the thirst, and your legs are really not supporting the rest, you don't know if you're going to be able to respond to danger that approaches. Between all of that, you decide not to continue. So you miss the splendor of the desert, its wonders, its flavors, its surprises, and you only focus on the heat and on the danger. And your backpack is still full of items that serve you a long time ago in that cold place, to which, by the way, you don't want to return. And even so, you go back. Now, the same thing happens when in your career, if you're attached to things that don't work on the new path that you want to explore, and you end up letting yourself carried away by doubts and fears, and you want to return to that comfort zone that is not where you want to be, it's not what makes you happy. Now, what if we change the ending of this story? What if you leave what is not necessary? So leave the boots and the gloves and the socks and the coats, the winter equipment that you have there. Release that weight from that backpack. And you will be able to walk faster and with more agility. And if you also learn how to cook in the desert and you start dressing with tunics and a hat to protect yourself from the sun, and even more so, you invite other people to discover the desert with you, wouldn't you want to go further? I think you will. And you will enjoy the desert, its splendor and its wonders and the flavors and the surprises. You will welcome the heat without any fear. And you will face the dangers because you know that you have the resources you need without any attachments, without any ties, simply free being you. Now, initiating a career change or seeking to reinvent yourself in your own career requires to be able to free yourself from what you don't need anymore, to be able to embark on a new path without any regrets and unnecessary attachments that do not add any value, and it only makes every task difficult and take space and energy from what that you actually need for something new. Now, letting go is the key to moving forward and to achieve anything you want in life. I really hope that you've been inspired, and above everything, that you identify what is no longer necessary in your career path. If you like this content, you know how it works. Give it a like, subscribe. You really don't know how much this helps the algorithm, and it helps me growing this channel and getting to more people who are going through a situation where they need to be reinforced. Send you a big kiss as usual, and I'll see you in another episode.